Hello and welcome to episode 8 on the CentriCraft server. I'm here at the moment because I'm smelting up some glass to be ready for finishing off the trident shop because I need some glass. I've collected up some dyes, so I've got some lapis in here, some bone meal, and I made some cyan dye, which is why I've got some cactus green, because I was having to grow some cactuses just outside on a bit of sand and smelt that up. So I've got some cyan dye ready to dye some glass. I've got a bit of glass already, but I'm just smelting up a little bit more, and then I'm going to take it over to the shopping district and finish up around the trident shop, and then I can start stocking it up. So I think this entire layer at the bottom here, which you stand on, I think I'm going to swap all of that out for glass. And then underneath I want to sort of swirl down to a point, and then the same with where his hand would be. I want to sort of swirl down there. Not sure about the trident. I could just carry the trident on all the way down, because I could just make more dark prismarine, or I could have a sort of swirl around there as well. I'll see what works best, but I do want a path of glass coming from here all the way to the land. I think if I start with that, and then I'll add the swirls on and see how that looks. There was a creeper. He just fell down and exploded about half of Posidon. And now I am very, very sad. Right, so I patched up the side of Posidon. I actually went and bought some wood from the wood shop for that, because it's easier to do that than travel all the way back to my base, because I didn't bring any extra wood with me. So yeah, his side's been patched up, and I think I've got it looking the same as before. Then I've put this glass walkway across, so it's 3 wide all the way up, and sort of decorated it with a couple of different colours. And then around the trident and his torso and where his arm goes in, I've done these sort of spirals of the different colours, sort of pointing down, and then coming out of the water as sort of bubbles or a splash, from where he's sort of emerging from the water as he's portaled through as with his god powers. And added a little touch on a couple of places with water sort of just dripping off, as if he's just come out of the water and it's just cascading off the bits where it's collected. So I've got a bit on his shoulder and a bit on his trident up there. So I put in some chests, and I still need to put on the item frames with named items to say how much things are. So over on this side, I've got the drowned heads and the nautilus shells. So I think I'm going to be selling the drowned heads at a diamond for 32, and I think the nautilus shells I'm going to be selling at 1 diamond for 8, because they're going to want them in groups of 8 to make the conduits. I will actually be selling whole conduits as well, but I need to hunt down some hearts of the sea to do that. So for now, I'm just going to be selling the nautilus shells like that. And then on this side, I'm going to be selling raw tridents, I think is what I'm going to call them. So straight from the hands of the drowned. I haven't processed them, I haven't put them together to heal them up. I haven't put any enchantments on them, and these are all unenchanted ones, because sometimes the drowned actually drop enchanted tridents. So I'm keeping the enchanted ones, and I'm going to enchant those up fully. So you can see in here I've got some with some enchantments on. Some are just sort of unbreaking and stuff, but makes it a bit easier to enchant. And also I'm keeping some nautilus shells to make a couple of actual conduits. So yeah, that's going to be that. I'm going to put some item frames on with the prices. I think a good price for the tridents, it's hard to know, because there's quite a few tridents, and of course no one's really going to want more than 2 tridents each. So there's not going to be a demand for loads and loads of tridents, unless someone sets up a golf course or something and starts needing loads. But I think I might go for 10 diamonds for a raw unenchanted trident, and then depending on what enchantments I put on them, I'll put in this chest. They will vary in price, I think. So yeah, that's the trident shop basically ready to go. So I just need to get some item frames, put those in, and I need to hunt down some hearts of the sea. So I think that's the next thing I'm going to be doing, is finding some buried treasure. Right, so I'm approaching the X on the map, and it looks like it's in this coast just over here. So if I boat into where it's at and then grab my spade and just dig down in the sand, hopefully I should be able to find it fairly quickly. Sometimes they can be really difficult, sometimes they can be really easy. And so I want to be just under the X. So I jump out here, and I think it's going to be somewhere just around here. So sometimes there's a bit of stone sticking out, which gives a neat indication of where it is, because the chest spawns with stone all around it. So I think I'm just going to clear away as much of this sand as possible, and hopefully there'll be a chest under here somewhere. Aha! That looks like a chest to me. And there's a heart of the sea in it. Good, good. And a couple of diamonds. Wow, that's well worth. I'm going to just break the chest, and hopefully I've picked up all the loot from it. Yeah, it's just sand floating on the surface. So I've picked up all the loot from that one. So I guess it's now back in the boat, and time to switch out the maps. So where's this other one? Okay, I am now north of it, so I need to go a bit south and quite far east by the looks of it. So I'll see you when I get there. Okay, so I've arrived on the map. It's really far across. I think it's past where the end portal was. So there's a boat here as well, so I'm going to dive down in this boat and see if there's any treasure down here first. Oh, there's a chest in here, and there's nothing particularly good in that chest. And the ones up front. Okay, this is another buried treasure map, so I'm going to grab that. It might end up being the same as this because it's in a very close area to where this one is pointing me. So it's very likely that other treasure map is going to take me to the same place. And then, how do I get into this top one? Here we go. And that's a whole load of iron, which isn't too bad. Grab that and let's break that chest. There's the door I was meant to go through. Right, so let's head towards where this thinks there's buried treasure. And once I've got this, I will check the other map and see if that's guiding me to the same place or not. Ooh, I think that's a chest. Alright. And it's got a heart of the sea and some gold and emeralds. Nice. Alright, yeah, I should have inventory room. So if I just stand here and do that, I should collect all the stuff from that. Okay. And so now I've got 2 hearts of the sea. Wonderful. Now I wanted to check the other map, which was this one, and see if this is the same map. And yes, it is the same map. Okay, it's a bit of a shame, but to be expected if I found it that close to it. So I'm now going to head back to my base, and I'm going to start heading up north, see if I can find some more shipwrecks, and then if I can find some more buried treasure maps to lead to more buried treasure, hopefully. And I'll try and do the ones up to the north of my base, because then I'm not going to be looting ones which other people might have gone to or want to go to in the future. On my journey back, I've come across what I thought was a sunken ship, but there are some drowned around here, so I am going to have to be careful. I think I saw 1 or 2 of them with tridents, which is why I've got a shield out. As soon as you've got a shield, the trident guys become a lot easier to deal with. Oh, there we go. killed him off. Wonderful. I think this is a chest I haven't gone to. Oh, wait for it to load. Come on. There we go. And there's a treasure map in it. Woohoo! I think that's a fresh one. Wonderful. So let's go try and pick that up, I guess. I suppose there could be more maps down in the drowned settlement. But I think they're likely to lead to the same place if that is one. So I'll have a quick look. Okay, and this map has led me here, which doesn't look like anyone's gone for it already. So I'm going to have to search. This one is the sort of one where a sticking out piece of stone might give it away. But I guess not. Guess it's back to the other technique of just hit all the sand as quickly as possible. Hey, and it's worked rather quickly this time. And yeah, got a heart of the sea. No diamonds this time, or emeralds, but all of that stuff is good. Wonderful. Heart of the sea is the big one. It's the important one, the one that I'm after. So I'm just going to put that away in the ender chest. Make sure I can't lose it on my journey back. Ooh, buried treasure map. Wonderful. Okay, let's check these maps. Where does this one lead? I don't recognise that, so I think it's somewhere new. And this one is also the same place. So I'm going to find out where this goes. Right, so I'm near another buried treasure now. This one's quite near the jungle. You can actually see just over there is where my drowned farm is. So if you look at the map, it looks as if it was in the middle of water, but there's actually this little sandbar which comes out just here, although it is slightly over from it. So I'm going to head down. Right, and I think I've uncovered it here. It was quite far out into the water, so not immediately obvious. And there's a heart of the sea, good. And there's some iron and some TNT. Right, here we go, down to a shipwreck, and this is quite a large shipwreck, so I'm hoping this one will actually have a map in it. Oh, got some goodies in there. Now I want to check this one, and it hasn't loaded yet. Come on. Aha! Buried treasure map. Woohoo! And hopefully this will be a new one as well. Aha! Here we go. And that's quite good. Got some emeralds in it as well. And of course the heart of the sea is the bit we're after. Don't need that. There we go. So found another, what looks like a full ship. So going to go in, see what's in its chests, and hopefully find another map. Ooh, that's quite a nice one. Here's one which has a buried treasure map in. Woohoo! Aha! That was a nice quick one. Oh wow, this one's got diamonds in it as well. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. Bit of lag there, waiting for it to pop into my inventory. Right, I found another ocean ruins. This one has a lot of drowns around it. That guy has a trident, so I'm going to want to take out him first. Or get in, get rid of him. Okay, it looks like there's quite a few ruins around here. Explains the large number of drowns currently attacking me. Right, where to start? I'm gonna start at this one, I think. And I can see the chest. It's just here. It hasn't generated. Ooh, there's a map. And there's a chest. Come on. Well, that's got a map in it as well. Wow, this one's lucrative. Ooh, there's a shipwreck over here. Interesting. Let's get that. Nothing worth it in there. So head into the shipwreck if I can find a way in. Okay, here we go. This one, oh, it's a good ord. Okay, got all of that. And then I want to get this one. Nothing good in there. And then I think this one is the one which potentially has maps in. Come on, load. And it does. You go, it is under the sand and not under the dirt. And there's the harder sea, and it's got a diamond in it. Nice. Aha. There we go. Decent. On the inside of the shop, oh, I can get rid of this now. I've done the renaming. I've got my raw tridents for 10 diamonds each, which I think is a fair price. And then I haven't enchanted up in any tridents yet, so I'll be doing that in a bit. Then in here I've got my 8 Nautilus shells for a diamond, or 32 heads for a diamond. So they're in the stacks, so it's 1 diamond for 1 spot effectively in this chest. And then in here I've got my conduits. I didn't use a conduit to label it because basically I don't have that many of them, so I didn't want to waste one being just a label. So on the inside I've got 7 of them. I've kept a couple for myself because I strongly suspect I'm going to want them, and it'd be kind of annoying if I realised I wanted one and I'd sold all the ones that I had. So yeah, I kept a couple for myself. I think that's a reasonable price. I don't know, they might sell out really quickly, but when the Nautilus shells are that cheap, it might be that people find it easier just to find their own heart of the sea if they want a conduit or 2. Usually it's sort of, you only really need 1 and you just move it around with you, a bit like beacons. If you go to dig somewhere, you just take your beacon with you. So I can't imagine everyone wanting, you know, 1 million of them. So I'll see how they do at that price. If they sell out quickly, I'll have to make some more and maybe charge a bit more for those. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is enchanting up some tridents. So I need to go and trade with some villagers, get some books of mending is the main book I need, and then I can enchant up some tridents to max and probably use an XP farm to mend them up as well, so they're at full durability before I sell them, and then they'll be in that chest once I'm done with it. Okay, so I'm just coming over to the trading hall. By the way, I bought a pass to a trading hall just the other day, so I can show you that clip. Right, and I've offered a deal to Intent, or rather, I wanted a trading pass from Intent, and he wanted some redstone. Nice. To all the villagers, and so that's 3 stacks of blocks, and then there's 2 stacks of ore as well. And I believe he's given me, yeah, he's given me the super official trading pass. So now I can come in and I can trade with these guys. Oh. What are these? Oh, are these when you get the pass? Full of carrots and potatoes. Okay, so he wants the boxes back, but the carrots and potatoes I can use for trading. So that's great. And then I believe he's showing me this guy who's the carrots and potatoes guy. And now you've seen me get in the pass, and I've just quickly made a pathway from my portals, which are the ones just over there, around this way to Intent's portal, because we're actually quite near each other, but currently the quickest route... Oh, that's a guard. The quickest route for me not using a lighter was going to be to go via the shopping district, which is actually really far. It's a big loop round and then coming back this way. So I just put in this little road out here because I'm also going to want this path across because I think the end portal that I've been using, I think it comes out somewhere just over here. There's another portal over there. I don't know whose that is, but if it's someone who might also want to be linked up to the end, I could extend my path all the way across. But yeah, I'm keeping my path at the same height, and eventually I think I'll put some ice underneath it so it can be boated. I think the ice effect still works through slabs. I'll have to check that before I do that. But yeah, I'm gonna pop through and go to this trading hall. I did a bit of enchanting at the pigman farm, and then I ran out of books. So I got a couple of impaling 4s out of it, but then getting impaling 5s, I'm not sure you can get them from an enchanting table. But then I remembered there's this place in the back of the, I think it's called the Three Fingered Tavern. So in Zorba's Enchanting Shop of Mysticism. And there's a whole load of books here for sale, which might work out slightly cheaper than trying to pay for the emeralds in the microtransactions and using that to buy the impaling 5 books, which are 60 emeralds. So yeah, I was having a look, and there's a couple of impaling 4s here. So if I grab those, and they're 2 diamonds per book, put that in there, and then yeah, I want to keep checking through these. Okay, so I think that's all of them. I spent a fair few diamonds here, but I've got some unbreaking books here, and a fair few impaling, including some impaling 5s, which very worthwhile. I might even have more than I need, depending what level of impaling I enchant them up to, but I can always use them when I restock the shop. Alright, so I'm back at the trident shop, and I brought my tridents with me, so I've enchanted them all up. It took a while, but I was using my cave spider XP farm, because there's some other people online, so even the zombie pigman farm wasn't giving up that much XP because there weren't many spawning, but of course spawners produce them separate from the mob cap, so that was still churning out XP at a steady rate. So yeah, I managed to enchant these up. So I've got the Riptide ones here, and the Impaling, Loyalty, and Channeling ones up here, which actually took quite a lot to enchant, because I think some of the enchantments, I think I combined some books, and then it was like 20-something levels for the last enchantment to go on each of them, or something like that. So yeah, that took a while, and then I've mended them all up because they've all got mending on. So done that. So I'm gonna take these and put these to the chest down here. I'm gonna keep one of each for myself. So this is going to be the Riptide ones. I'm going to charge 20 diamonds for these. I think that's a reasonable price for those. And then for the high enchanted ones, the Impaling, Loyalty, and Channeling ones, I'm charging 32 diamonds. I'll see how those prices go. If they sell out really quickly, obviously I'll have to restock and charge a little bit more for them. But of course, if people want their own set of enchantments, they can always buy a raw trident and enchant it up themselves. They're only 10 diamonds. So yeah, I think that's a reasonable price for the added enchantments onto these. Right, so I've put in a little bit of path along the water's edge in the glass, so it just looks like more sort of the water. and then up this hill I've just put in some oak slabs to give it a quick path up. So I'm not sure what these stones are here for, so if I'm intruding on something, I'm sure someone will let me know and I can change where my path is going. I could have it shoot up that way or something like that. But it's just a little thing to make a obvious path to walk down, so you can sort of see where you're going when you're coming down here. I actually haven't used the buttons yet, so I think now might be a good opportunity to sort of officially open the store by using this trident. So I think this is a riptide one. So I do this. Hey! I end up flying through the air. I'm just gonna... Hey! That's a lot of fun. And then the other trident. Let's get on land. The other trident. Oh, I can barely see what happened there. Let's throw it at Posidon. And it jumps back because I've got loyalty on it. Nice. Right. So yeah, with that I'm officially declaring that the Trident shop is now open. So that's all for this episode. As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the stuff I've done in the comments, or if you hit the buttons for like or dislike, if you liked it or disliked it. The other Centric's channels are linked in the description, so if you want to check out the stuff they've been doing on the server, go and check out their channels. I've been Recoded Zaphod, and thanks for watching.